Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Successful Woman's Mindset. My name is Galit Ventura Rosen, and I am excited to have another author with us today from the amazing collaboration book that we put together called The Successful Woman's Mindset, 21 Journeys to Success. Welcome, Rena.
Good morning. How are you?
I love your background. I
Thank
just
you.
have to share it fits so well, and everybody will know that's watching why in a minute as well. Well, Rena McDonald is the owner of McDonald Law Group, and she is one of our authors in the book. We're going to be sharing a little bit about her chapter, a little bit about why this theme, and we're also going to have a little fun and learn a little more about her. So, Rena, one of the things I like to ask all the authors right away when we start is, what does the phrase "the successful woman's mindset" mean to you?
You know, it's an interesting question. Success, I think, is defined differently for every person. For me, I really had to figure out what makes me happy, what I get joy from, and what satisfies me. And for me, that's how I define success. So I really enjoy helping people. It gives me an amazing level of satisfaction. And if I feel like I'm helping people, I feel like I'm successul.
I
That
love
works
that.
for me.
I love that definition. I love that. For
For,
you, it's really about serving others, doing what you love. But because I know as a lawyer, you really do love what you do. And a lot of lawyers, stereotypically, we're just going to use this for fun, they're not going to say that. And you do it with so much pride and so much love for the way that you take care of your clients. I know that I've had the opportunity in the past to connect you with people or ask questions related to the law, and you've been able to help, and you just do it with such grace. So I could see why it's something about helping other people, and I completely agree.
well, thank you so much. That is so sweet. Yeah, that gives me joy. It gives me satisfaction, and I feel very successful when I know that I have helped somebody. It's not always the answer that they want, but I know when they come in, I know when they leave that they will be in a better place than when they came in, and um, that gives me the internal satisfaction of knowing that I've done my best, and that I think makes me successful. So for me, that's what it is. But I do think that differs for every person. I've been very
Sure.
lucky that I've been able to find a career that kind of matched that for me, and that I'm able to help people through my career.
How long
But
have you been a lawyer now?
17 years.
Yes, and it's also very rare to love what you do for so long. So I would absolutely want to jump that in as well. Some people change careers or change professions because they're still figuring it out, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's great that they're working at finding it out. Some people settle. How many people do we know that just settle? Well, that's what's the saying? That's my 9 to 5. That's a
Right.
saying.
Right. And if that doesn't give you pleasure, then you're not successful. Even if you're successful at it and you're doing well, I don't think if you're not getting that internal satisfaction, you're not successful.
I think the reason I love asking this question, aside from the fact that it's the title of the book, why not, is that each answer is so different. But with the authors that we've put together for this book, 21 authors, including me, each answer actually works together as well. There's a lot of similar but differing answers. But what I've seen more than anything is the successful woman's mindset really revolves around happiness, being happy. So you said serving others makes me happy, helping others. And I'm hearing that word over and over again. So for me, when I think of the word success, I absolutely connect it to, am I happy? Not just how much money I'm making or how much credibility or credentials or awards. All that's great and fun. And we both know that it's part of being successful. But I think that the happiness is where, for me, you hit it right on the dot.
Yeah, I definitely think the mindset of feeling successful definitely starts with feeling satisfied and enjoying what you do.
Yes, satisfied is another one that you used over and over again. And I think for me, when I hear satisfied, I immediately think happy. Because if I'm satisfied, I'm happy. I'm living a genuine, authentic, light, I say light because it's not heavy. It feels easy.
Right.
Doesn't feel as challenging as maybe doing something that you're not happy doing. But thank you for sharing that definition. Let's go ahead and jump into your chapter. We're not going to give away too much because we want everyone to read it. We're really excited about having Rena in the book. I've known Rena for years. We've been on philanthropic boards together. We definitely love serving the community together. We've had an opportunity to get to know each other, which is always fun. And it's fun having some authors I've never knew before this book and some authors I've known for years. So thank you for being a part of it.
Well, I am super excited to be a part of it. What an amazing group of women. I'm just so honored to be included in that group. And the same thing, obviously, I know you and have known you for a while, but there's some ladies that I've known, and I'm really excited to get to know the ladies that I'm being introduced to as well. I cannot wait to read all of their chapters.
It's going to be a really fun book. I've had the opportunity to read them all. So I've had that insight and to read all the chapters a few times, and none of the other authors have. So it's really fun. And we are recording this a little bit prior to the launch. So as this will be released, it'll be right after the launch, literally the day after. So we might be talking a little bit like the book hasn't been released, but we definitely want you to check it out. Let's go ahead and jump into your chapter. The chapter title is Winning in the Courtroom, Boardroom and Beyond. Let's dive in a little bit. Now, of course, it's no surprise because you're an attorney that you picked a chapter title like this, but let's talk a little bit about why the theme in the chapter.
So I find, I'm fascinated by how people do the things that they do. I'm a observer and a lifelong learner of people's behaviors and what motivates them and why they do what they do. I am always intrigued by people's reactions to the fact that I'm an attorney or that I negotiate for a living. That's what I do. I negotiate between people. So I think people's response to that word negotiation is always really interesting and telling.
Sure.
And so I think it's fascinating, and I wanted to tell my story of where I came from and how I came to be successful in my career.
Yes.
And I wanted to maybe give some tips and tools that people could use to help them in whatever they're doing. So negotiation is something that we use every day. And I wanted to make sure that people have the tools so that they can win in their life too.
I think what I liked most about this chapter was that you take the readers through a journey of your own experiences having to negotiate for yourself with failures and with successes, because I think it's so important for us to share the journey of our failures, not that they're bad, that's what we grow from. But more than anything, anyone that's watching or listening, this is not a chapter just for attorneys. This is for any woman that has to negotiate a salary, any woman that may negotiate terms of an agreement, a contract. We're doing this every single day, especially when you own your own business, but also if you're in your own career. You might need to negotiate a promotion or a transfer or maybe getting a new job. I want to make that very clear because there are specific tips in here that you can walk away with and implement that have actually worked for Rena as someone that her profession is negotiating.
Exactly. And, I think it's funny when people say, oh, I don't negotiate. I don't engage in that. I think that's crazy. You negotiate every day. You negotiate with yourself constantly.
Sure.
You negotiate with your family members. You choose what you're going to accept and what you're not going to accept, what you tolerate in your life. And because of that, anybody can use tools and tips for learning to negotiate better in a more effective way.
And to benefit you.
The things they want, right?
It's to benefit yourself. I think when people say, I don't negotiate, do you know what I hear, Rena? Excuse me, is I hear, I don't like to cause conflict. I don't like to to talk about things that might not be comfortable. That's what I hear when someone says that. Because if you're not negotiating on your behalf, I mean, come on, our little kids negotiate with us all the time.
All the time.
And that means you're negotiating back, right? Mom, can I stay up an extra 30 minutes? Come on, I get up on time. And then you're negotiating with them 10, 15, 20, or no.
I think there's a stereotype of, and it's something that women just need to get over, is there's a stereotype of, if I ask for too much, I'm not the person that they think they want to be. And so, yeah, but you do negotiate. And so that's why I giggle when people say that, because I think you're negotiating right now.
Do you know which word you're thinking of? Pushy. There's a stereotype in the male versus female world that if you're negotiating, you're pushy, but it's okay for men to. Let's just say it as it is. We got to get over that. And then when we do start negotiating or being pushy, we're called certain things, which we will not state, but we're also, well, you're not being ladylike, or you're not acting appropriately. You know what? Get over it. And Rena and I both have companies that are in very male-dominated industries. So this is nothing against men. Rena and I really love men. We both have wonderful men in our lives. This is about the world and society and how we still are working to get our foot in a lot of doors, our seat at a lot of tables. So I think if you take anything from this chapter, take that strength, take that power. And when you read the story of how Rena started in negotiating, in a sense, you'll see that they aren't easy conversations. I don't know about you, Rena. Well, maybe because you do it way more than me, Rena. For me, it's very uncomfortable to talk about certain topics.
You know,
but I have to.
You, that perceived notion, it's in you. It's that, I think that's what's interesting is women always think that, oh, I'm going to be perceived as this, but you're telling yourself that you're going to be perceived that way. So if you change that dialogue to that, I know how to negotiate, this is what I want, this is what I need, you're changing that internal thought. So I never think of myself as a pushy person. I wouldn't classify myself that as at all. I would tell you I fight for my clients' rights. Perfect. And I fight for the things that are important. And when I change that thought internally, it affects the way I deal with it. And I'm so much more comfortable dealing with negotiation coming from that perspective, rather than coming from, oh, I don't want to be pushy, but I'm going to ask for this just in case. So yeah, I think that's why this topic is so important.
Yes, and I completely agree with you, because we cannot make everybody happy and we cannot please everyone. And it is not our job to please other people. It is our job to please ourselves. So I love the way that you said that it's a perception, because I do believe with women, and because this book is geared at women, we're going to talk about that. We do have these perceptions about ourselves and the way other people see us, or we don't want them to see it. And one of the things that I've grown into, and I hope many of you watching and listening start younger than I did, was I just don't care anymore. I just stopped caring. But please don't confuse that with I'm not a polite PC person. It's not my problem if you don't agree with my opinions, or you don't agree with me negotiating something that could benefit us. And everything truly is a negotiation. I don't know very many professions that don't have something that you're negotiating. So I completely agree. Well, let's jump into something fun. Let's share something interesting, fun, maybe someone might not know about you that's listening or watching with our audience.
So as an attorney, there's definitely a perception that people have of me. And I can tell you that that's real. That's not something I'm projecting. That's out there. I think people would be surprised to know that I'm a lot of fun. And I drive a Jeep, and I love to go adventuring with my kids. So I have two young men, and we drive out into the desert anytime chance we get. We live here in Las Vegas. It's beautiful. Lots of fun places to go off-roading. And so, on a weekend, that's where you're going to find me, or not find me rather. is out in the middle of nowhere doing something crazy. So
Yes.
I think that's something that if you didn't know me very well, you would probably assume I wouldn't do that kind of thing.
Yes,
But I
you're
love
more
getting dirty.
serious, more reserved, maybe because of a lot of the perceptions or stereotypes that people have. I think that's so fun, and we have a lot of great weather in Las Vegas. I also live in Las Vegas, and we also have great roads here because we have so much land versus just city. So what a fun thing to do, and I love that you do that with your kids. What a great memory and experience to have with them. Well, I would love you to share with everybody how they can get a hold of you, learn more about working with you, and learn a little bit more about you in general.
Well, my email address, if you ever have any questions or need anything, is, and I'm happy to give it out, it's Rena, RENA, at McDonaldLawGroup.com. Our website is McDonaldLawGroup.com. I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, and happy to connect with anybody. If you read the chapter and you have questions or thoughts, I would love to hear some feedback. So please, email me, let me know what you're thinking. And the phone number at the office, if you ever have any, if you want to talk in person, well, in person, however that is defined now, you can call us. Our phone number is 702-448-4962.
Perfect. And just so you know, Rena is licensed to practice in Nevada. And she's given me advice about outside, but not legal advice, just a little bit of direction, and connected me with other attorneys. So if you're not in Vegas or in Nevada, you can also reach out and she might have a contact or referral for you. I know that I do that all the time with my real estate because I don't practice out of Nevada as well. We both are licensed only in the state of Nevada. So I want to share with everybody that our book, The Successful Woman's Mindset, 21 Journeys to Success, can be purchased online at Amazon or any online retailer. You can also learn more about the authors in detail at thesuccessfulwomansmindset.com. We would love for you to purchase the book. We would love for you to write a review for us. We would also love, if you're watching this or hearing this through the podcast, to write a review about the podcast as well. Make sure to listen to the rest of the interviews and watch them, because we have 21 different stories, 21 different personalities. Gosh, we have authors, Rena, that were born in other countries that immigrated to America. We have, different races, cultures, ages. I think we range from like 29 up to the 60s. We have so much diversity in this group, as well as the professions. Some own their own businesses. It's been really exciting to see all of this come together and really build a unity of women. So thank you for being a part of the book. Rena, thank you for being part of this interview.
Well, thank you, Sarah, so much for having me. And I am so excited to hear back from everybody, and let us know your thoughts.
Thank you so much. And please make sure to listen to the next episode or watch The Successful Woman's Mindset. I am Galit Ventura Rosen, and we'll see you soon.